if what seems to be a steady drumbeat of mostly bad news has you down, David Pogue has just the antidote.
Good morning, and this is the good news of the year. Yeah, I know, I've heard all the jokes. The good news in 2025, this is going to be a really short broadcast. But that's only because the good news got drowned out by all the bad news. We begin today with plastics. Plastic is made of petroleum, and when we throw it away, it breaks down into tiny particles that wind up in our bodies, our blood, and our brains. So where's the good news? David Pogue reports. This bag, this fork, this cup, this shrink wrap may look like ordinary plastic, but this stuff is made from sugar cane, and it's completely biodegradable. So this is fine with you when people dump these plastic bags in here?
We actually like it. It's compostable plastic. And the key is that they break down.
Yeah.
And they don't leave microplastics in our soils.
At Black Earth Compost near Boston, run by Andrew Brousseau, these better plastics break down along with household food scraps to become valuable compost for farms and gardens.
This is the finished product.
Black gold.
And that's safe? There's no microplastics in our brain?
No, that's the big advantage.
Max Seneschal is an executive at CJ Biomaterials in Woburn, Massachusetts, one of several companies now making completely compostable plastics.
The good news now in 25 is that we've reached a point where we can produce these at large scale. It gives you all the functionality without the guilt.
Thank you, David. If we can all agree on anything, it's that we can't agree on anything.
We certainly have gotten to a place where disagreement is mostly just corrosive. We need to find a way to do it better.
Eli Finkel may have found it. He co-created the Center for Enlightened Disagreement at Northwestern University. So, Professor, you run exercises that teach students how to disagree?
Yes, exactly right. In fact, the first program involved the use of improv techniques. For example, imagine that your job is to rant for 1 full minute about something that makes you very, very angry. My job is to take that information and present to everybody what it is that you value. Not why you're angry, not what you're opposed to, but what is underneath the anger that you feel.
And does it work?
I feel very hopeful. And the students are really leaning in to this idea that to be a productive member of a multicultural society, we need to be able at least to listen and understand what the people who disagree with us believe.
Is there any way this technique could be brought to a broader segment of the population?
This is the goal. If we can achieve here what it looks like we're achieving, I think it won't take us long before we're able to spread this not only to other institutions of higher education, but to high schools and perhaps even beyond.
Well, on behalf of America, thank you for what you're doing.
It is absolutely my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Everyone knows that birds fly south for the winter and back again in the spring. But these are not non-stop flights.
They need places to stop and rest and refuel on their long journeys.
According to the Nature Conservancy's Katie Riley, California has lost at least 90% of the lakes and marshes that were once layover spots, thanks to urban growth, modern agriculture, and climate change. Her team's radical idea? Pay farmers to flood their fallow fields during migration times, creating pop-up wetlands.
Some birds, like the sandhill cranes we're seeing out here today, use those flooded fields actually to sleep. Much smaller birds, they need flooded fields to be able to feed and access little bugs in the field.
So if you weren't paying farmers to flood their fields here, what would happen to those birds that are trying to migrate?
They would not survive. We would see populations go down.
Ben Leacox is the general manager of Zuckerman Family Farms in Lodi, California. The birds benefit from this.
Correct.
The farmers are benefiting from this.
Correct. This program may be the difference between me being in the black or the red this year. So,
wow. So who loses in this transaction?
This is a win-win transaction for everybody.
This year, the farmers in the Bird Returns program are offering about 50,000 acres of bird rest stops.
One thing I'd like people to take away Sorry, there's a lot of geese taking off over there.
You're welcome!
Come back. Make sure to return.
See you next year!
You might not expect to find artificial intelligence on a good news show, but in healthcare, AI is bringing enormous advances in predicting disease, discovering new drugs, and especially diagnosing illnesses.
It's pretty darn good.
Robert Wachter is the chair of the Department of Medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, and the author of an upcoming book about AI in medicine. He gave me a demo.
Hi, GPT. I'm a physician. I have a 28-year-old patient. She's lost a bunch of weight in the last 6 weeks. She's kind of tremulous. She's shaking. She's pretty sweaty, and her stools are loose. Can you give me a sense of what might be going on?
Based on those symptoms, it sounds like she could be dealing with something like hyperthyroidism. Of course, you'd want to confirm that with some thyroid function tests.
Great. Thanks so much.
But we know that regular AI sometimes just makes stuff up, wrong answers. Isn't that a risk?
It can be. It is something we worry about, and it's why, at least for now, you don't want this thing diagnosing by itself. And we talk about the doctor in the loop. It's getting better every year, and I think this was the year that we turned a corner where this is going to be something of a golden era in medicine over the next 5 or 10 years.
Thank you, Dr. Wachter. Very helpful.
All right. Take it easy. Thanks so much.
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. We won't have time to mention how U.S. homicides dropped almost 20% this year, or how Paris cleaned up the Seine River so completely that people are now swimming in it for the first time in 100 years, or how a British charity cleared 300,000 landmines left over from a civil war in Sri Lanka, foot by foot. It took 16 years, but 280,000 people have now returned safely home. Or how 4 old dams on the Klamath River in California and Oregon had cut salmon off from their traditional spawning grounds for over 100 years. But once the old dams were removed last year, the salmon returned within days. Somehow, they remembered. Have a joyous new year, and remember, bad news breaks suddenly, but good news happens everywhere, all the time. Good morning, everyone.